Okay, we are live. Here we are. Hello to everyone. Welcome back. Another Tuesday night of racing here at HOBO and the HOBO Cup Series. Race number 18 for this long season. About halfway, a little more than halfway through the season now. And tonight, it is one of the most unusual tracks that you will see on the entire schedule. The only fictional track, I believe, on the schedule this season, and it is the original fictional track, the Papyrus Game Track, Papyrus Motorsports Park, as it is referred to. An interesting 7-turn road course oval hybrid. I wouldn't call it like the Roval in that regard, but it is legit and like a hybrid. Think, oh geez, a road course version of Hillside, if anyone is familiar with the Hillside fictional track. Very high banked, drives very similar, but there's also some very high speed sections. These guys are going to be hitting speeds of, especially in the draft, probably 210, 215 miles per hour. Some of the slowest corners, though, are going to be about 140, maybe 150 if they're pushing it. Very wide, very fast pit road speed. This is going to be a weird one. This is going to be very unusual, but I'm excited. It is going to be very intriguing on how this is going to go. And I'm not alone, though. Back in the booth once again. It's been a hot minute. But Josh Chu back up here with me once again. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, of course. I mean, you brought me out on a night with a very unusual track, that's for sure.
And hey, that just adds to the unknown factor. I
That's
think
right.
it's really going to play into it here. And these guys are running their qualifying laps right now, but open setup as always. However, it wouldn't surprise me if these guys maybe just take the fast setup and just try to modify it a little bit. I mean, these guys are going to be turning right more than left. There's only one left-hand turn that these guys are going to be making the entire night, and it's honestly probably the slowest speed corner on the track.
Yeah, I
Josh, I know
wonder.
that
Oh,
I
go
was just
ahead.
yeah, sorry about that. I was just going to ask you. You were able to get a couple laps out there. I know that it wasn't really the best feel for you since you just kind of hopped out to do it, but I don't know. What were your thoughts kind of on how the layout was and how it felt?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's a really cool track. I guess I've never been on the track at Papyrus unless it was many years ago, but I think the left-hander, just like you said, I wonder how many people, especially when they get in the draft, are going to overdrive that corner and just push way up. I bet we'll see some action there on that left-hander, but a very unique track. Some high speeds on that long straight on the back over there. So should be an interesting race, like you said.
Yeah, and watching for those guys pushing up in turns. I mean, this thing says that it's 7 corners, but in reality, I mean, actually, you know what? I can pull up. Let me get to the live shot here. This is the layout of this track, and it says it's 7 corners. If you really want to get technical with it, it's really only one, two, three, four, five. Um, but yeah, these guys are going to maybe have to lift off a little bit through this section and a little bit here. The very slow speed portions are going to be this inner loop right here. We're probably going to refer to this as the inner loop right here. And then I guess you'd call that second one the carousel. I don't know what the heck I'm going to refer to these corners as because I don't know which corners are what. But again, like right here, and then the carousel right here, probably going to be your lowest speed corners, and then final sweeping right-hander that you can easily stay flat out on will take you to the start-finish line, which is about in this area here. 53 laps are on tap here for tonight. I don't know what to expect, but a lot of unpredictability. Cautions are on as regular, so no change there in the caution procedure. Fuel window very short, only 12 laps. This track is 3.7 miles long, just a little over 3 3/4 miles. So I don't know. I'm just glad that I got you up here, Josh, because I don't know what I'd be doing on my own on this one.
Well, and you were talking about kind of the layout for the race. Damage is on, and so I don't know, the couple laps I took, I feel like if you're going to get any damage, it's going to be pretty big. So they need to stay out of those walls.
Yeah, big time. The good news is, though, these guys typically run realistic damage. It has been reduced to moderate for this race, so props to them there.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, yeah, these guys are running open setup. I can actually go into my own garage here and confirm that, and yep, I have full access to tuning, so we'll see who might be able to find the right balance. I'm sure you probably want to lean towards something that will favor turning right. Although you could suffer in that one corner, which would then set you up for the big run that you have to get through the sweeping right-hander and then onto the start-finish straight. So, I don't know. Josh, I know even though you don't have too much experience here, for something like this, do you know like what you would probably favor for a track like this if you had to try to tune for it?
Gosh, I want as much stability as possible. I am not a huge road course racer. I enjoy them, some of them. Many of them I enjoy, but I almost run these with a different mindset. You've got to race the track. I mean, if you're driving through a gravel pit or the grass, you're not going to finish well anyway. So I'm looking for stability and just keep it on the track. Keep it on the track.
Yeah, keeping it on the track. Although that's kind of the one thing about this track, though. There ain't no gravel. It's just
Yep.
wall.
Yeah, I know. That's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, that is intimidating. So
Yeah,
I don't
for sure.
know. We may see some torn up sheet metal by the end of this thing, some fiberglass on the track by the end of this thing. We'll see. And pit road is also going to be very, very hectic. I mean, you're going to have to make at least 4 pit stops, and pit road speed 70 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Oh
wow.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's a
Getting,
fast pit entrance.
yeah, getting into your stalls at that speed. I think you and I can both attest to just how dang hard that is.
Oh yeah, super hard. Yep. Yeah, I was taking a look at qualifying. There was a 15-second spread between first and 16th of the cars that took time, and that's not that unusual for a road course. But the top 5 were pretty tight, a little over a minute and 11 seconds.
Yeah, only 3/10 separating first through fifth, and wouldn't you believe it? The trend continues of while the race winners have been very competitive this season, the battle for pole positions has not. Caleb Lingle gets another one. He has got the pole with a 1 minute 11.506, only 4/100ths quicker than Keith McLean in second place. Steve Grant with an excellent qualifying effort in third. Jeff Stakanis in fourth, and then Harry Kodian with an excellent effort there in fifth. Duke Sorensen and Steve Rubino. There's some guys that you don't see up quite that far in the qualifying order typically, but great to see them up there in sixth and seventh. Herman Reese will be back in eighth, and then it's DJ Darren Johnston, I believe is what you said.
I think it's Daryl.
Oh, Daryl, excuse me. Yeah, we have not been able to figure that out all season, so that's kind of cool there.
Yep.
And then Dan Rubino will round out the top 10. So double top 10 starting position for the Rubino guys.
Yeah,
Greg
I know they're
Stenzo,
a fan favorite.
They
Favorites, those Rubinos.
Yeah.
They usually have some fans in the chat. So, and
Got
yeah,
some.
I do believe that is Daryl. Daryl and Irv, I've raced with them several different times in a couple of places. So,
Gotcha. Okay. Took us 18 races, and we finally got DJ's first name. So, see if
there
he
you
can
go.
turn his luck around a little bit in this race. Just to round out the field here. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Josh, but
Oh no, you're good.
Greg Stenzo, Irv Johnston, and then Ryan Johnson at 78. That we'll see how he might be able to work his way forward if he is indeed able to. Few Gates and Kilojoules and Wiley King. That is a stacked 13th through 16th right there for guys that typically are pretty competitive out here. 16 drivers that turn lap times. Also starting tonight will be Troy Donahue, Randy Smith, Ron Simpson, Eddie Rayleigh, Ricky Bumbaloo, Ken Hansen, Rob Heath, and last week's runner-up, Mark DeSenza. Of course, KJ Kilojoules with that win to become the 10th different winner in 17 races. This will be race 18. Perhaps a bit of a wild card here as far as maybe a surprise winner. But yeah, you got to keep the car under, as you were saying, Josh. And above all, that guardrail, even though this track is very wide, that guardrail, I think, is going to bite a few guys in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it is. And to get back to something we mentioned a minute ago, the pit entry, I just watched in happy hour. I was kind of watching the guys do a little practice, and Jeff Stakanis was trying to come to pit road and just flipped over on his own. He didn't even hit anything. The car just flipped over.
He grip flipped it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to pit. So I think pit road's going to be an interesting place.
Yeah, that's a bit scary when that happens. So
yeah.
These guys might be keeping that in mind as the field is lining up here.
There's some good-looking cars out here.
It's a live picture here, yeah. These things are very nice. We've had the pleasure of bringing these things to you pretty much each and every week. Caleb Lingle on pole here. He's been turning his luck around a little bit as of late. Still looking for that second W on the season. Keith McLean, though, looking to break the tie for the most wins. Currently has 3, tied with Herman Reese. He's looking to try to get ahead of that and become the first 4-time winner this season. Jeff Stakanis, Steve Grant, a couple of winners there. Steve at Darlington, Jeff at Atlanta. Again, if I recall correctly. And then, of course, Duke Sorensen and Eric Kodian. Harry definitely, I think, has race-winning potential there. In that 13 could become yet another different winner this season, and how cool would that be? I mean, it took us what did I say, 9 races to get a multi-time winner.
Yep.
So it's a big. It's been borderline parity almost, which is crazy to think about in these online races with a stacked field like this. That there have been oh my goodness, I can't talk, but there's been this much parity.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, you've watched these drivers all season. I've been kind of in and out part-time. I mean, do you feel like we'll have a first-time winner tonight?
At a track this unique, I definitely think that there's potential. Given the number of different winners that we've had, it would not surprise me if we see one of our regular guys up front get it done. So I don't know. I think that experience will end up playing into this, and I think that we will not see a multi-time winner, but I think that there is every bit of potential for these guys to prove me wrong. One thing I do predict will be probably everyone maybe trying to tiptoe it a little bit here in this first lap and just try to feel it out and sort everything out here since we're starting double file. That is going to make this mighty spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Don't see the 33 anywhere.
They not make the grid?
I believe not. Oh, he's not in TeamSpeak, so... I do believe 33 will not be taking the green flag here. I don't know if he's just not feeling it or what, but... Huh. That's a bummer. But still will leave us 23 drivers to take this green flag here.
Yep, good field of cars. Pace cars off. Let's see what happens.
Hard right turn there, or left turn. Right, left. Wow, I think I may have just confused myself, but here we go. Green flag at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. We are road course oval racing here at HOBO.
The top line didn't get going very well. Kind of stacked up the top there.
Yeah, Keith looks like he had a misshift or something. And it looks like they're going to get that sorted out.
If there's a positive to that, it did allow them to kind of spread these cars out a little bit.
a little flyby shot going into the next corner here.
28 up high. Oh, he comes back down low.
Yeah, everyone looks like they're sorting it through the inner loop here pretty well. Some guys getting a little loose, but holding on to it.
Yeah, the 113 has. I've been watching him. He's definitely practiced because his corner execution is great so far.
Yeah, I think that the race will be won or lost in both that inner loop and then the carousel right afterward. I'm just coming up with these names on the fly. These are not the actual names of the corners. But yeah, here we go. We're going to see the draft come into effect here. Look at these speeds. Nearing 220. Going into the corner here as Keith is all over the back of Harry Codian there. That is Harry up to second place. But Caleb Engel leading the first lap here of 53. This will be a pretty long race, all things considered.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the 77 Johnston had to check up. He's getting eat up here with.
Speaking of checking up there, sorry, cut you off there. Just saw
no, you're good.
Keith have a bit of a moment there in the inner loop here and washed him up the racetrack that just about opened the door for the 11. But Keith's not going to have none of that. And is going to manage to hold on to third, but that top two at a gap a little bit there. Ooh, looking for the lead here.
Inside.
Whoa!
That was tight.
I wasn't sure if he was about to push up there, but clear and into the lead. Harry Codian, how about that? A guy that there have been so many guys that I can classify as having just the worst of luck throughout the season. Harry, I would say, is one of them. Caleb being another, but that car has had very decent speed at many, many races and just has not had the results to show for it. So hopefully tonight will be his night, that he can make something good happen. He did get a good finish at Michigan.
113 is looking inside.
See if he tries to maybe switch him back over as we come to the carousel here next up. Just got through the inner loop. Right on his tail there.
Yeah, the 13 had the right line, though, for that left-hander.
Just kind of checking on through the field right now. Everybody keeping it clean so far. Herman Reese looking to make a move on Steve Rubino. That is for the 6th position, and we'll get that spot. Fugate looking to get by Duke Sorensen for 8th, and we'll also make that move stick. I'm going to see what kind of speeds like Jeff Stakanis is about to hit here. I think that this is going to be huge. Is he going to hit 220 officially? Oh, 219. Oh, man, with some crazy speeds. 215 even through that corner. Holy moly.
216, yep. Yeah, they're flying. 28 up second.
Good run there for the one known as McDaddy. Up into P2 and maybe looking for the race lead. As the 13 goes up the track, so does Keith. It gets into the race leader.
Oh,
gonna spin him around into the wall. Pretty sure that will be the yellow. Oh, boy. Harry gets it back going. And I had to say something about his luck, didn't I?
Yeah, big trouble. Top 3.
Boy, yeah, everyone had to check up there in some capacity, and Caleb Engel just dropped back, and that will give the race lead to Jeff Stakanis.
Steak and shake.
Steak and eggs, as they call him sometimes. They will come to the start-finish line here and make the yellow flag. It's the nice thing about this big track, we're going to have plenty of time to look at replays before they have to pit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oy, 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 oy. Man, I did not predict on lap 4 that we would be having trouble like this.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was just too close.
Yeah, I think just overdrove it. I remember you saying that there was going to be a lot of potential of guys kind of overshooting that corner.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what just happened.
Yep. Yeah, I was watching the 13, and he pushed up, and you could tell he was off the throttle because there were flames coming out of the right side. And I think when he decided to come down, the 28 was there, and yeah, no place for the 113 to go.
Yeah, no, yeah, he just kind of took avoiding action there. It's going to cost him some track position. You saw the 77 get on the apron there, nearly have a moment, but managed to hold on. So props to the 77, but wow, yeah, that's I wouldn't call that hard racing. That is just a case of I would say a foreign racetrack, just kind of biting these guys, and the track that these guys don't have too much experience on, or really anybody would have much experience on, unless this is all they've run pretty much all their life.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I think the 13 just didn't check up in time for that corner. He was still running 212
Yeah,
at a point where he probably should have been backing off, and he tried to fix it, and the 28 was just there.
yeah, 28 definitely pushed up as well.
Yeah.
I think both guys just got too much out of that. Even the 113 kind of went up a little bit.
Well, and could the tire temps be? I'm sure they're up, of course, but I mean, it's just probably a combination of things that caused that accident. I mean, the tires are probably. I mean, a fuel run is 12 laps, so I would think the tires probably wear pretty quick too.
Yeah, especially through those corners, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So I'm sure there's going to be enough of play there that there's probably going to be uh, some advantage there. Oh my goodness, yeah, here we go with pit road being a little crazy.
oh, yep.
A lot of guys getting into each other there a little bit, but again, that's just the nature of a pit road with 70-mile-an-hour pit speed, which you will never ever see in your life. Unless it's at a fictional track, as we got, oh goodness, some contact there. Duke Sorensen, Steve Rubino. Looks like, yeah, repair damage there for Keith McLean. That'll keep him going. I think all those guys should be okay as far as speed, so
Yeah.
that'll be good.
We did have 3 drivers stay out. The 95 of Wiley King, also the 051, and the 10 stayed out. Randy Smith.
And I think this track does run on road course yellows, so if that is the case, then I do believe that we should be seeing the lights go out at any moment.
Yeah, probably.
So that will put these guys up front here. Wiley King, another winner this season, got it done at the Wild Race at Nashville to add his name to the prestigious win list of the season. Started pretty deep in the field, I believe 16th, so maybe looking to try and gain some track position here. Lights still have not gone out yet, so that's kind of telling me that we may actually get a full lap of caution here.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at that. They're still on. The 28's rolling. Let's see. With moderate damage, they may be okay. I didn't notice anybody just nail the wall with the front end, so hopefully no engine damage for these guys, I hope.
Yeah, with these high speeds, it's certainly possible, but it looked like it was just cosmetic. And with it being on the door, he may suffer slightly with just how high speeds this track gets. So he may suffer slightly in a straight line, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. I'm just kind of checking through the field here. Harry Kodian's going to be at the very back. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a mountain to climb there.
Yeah, I got some track position to make up. I was reviewing the pit stop for the 28, and I love this game. The left side of his car had a lot of damage on it, and the number was halfway gone, and then all of a sudden it was back, and it looks perfect.
Just
What
popped
a crew.
right out. Yep.
Yep, what a crew.
They work so fast that you don't even see what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah, I think the 95 just went to pit road.
95 and 51 going to opt to bring it in this time. Randy Smith will stay out.
Yeah, he'll assume the race lead. That means he'll be the only car that did not take service.
probably opting for the track position gain here. I would well imagine the lights are going out this time. If not, then oh boy, these are going to be some of the longest cautions ever.
Yeah. He's in a Pontiac.
Yeah, and we got a Pontiac out here, and I think that it was Caleb Rose that I had in the booth last week, and we were kind of pointing out some of the different manufacturers out here, and yep, you got a Pontiac there for Randy Smith, Steve Grant, and Wiley King also running Pontiacs. All those Speedland guys. You got Camaros, you got SSs, you've got I can't remember who it is, but someone runs a Mustang. I'm trying to remember who it is. It might be the 81. Yeah, I think
it is the 81. Yep.
Yep, I thought so. Yep, you got your Fusions out here, of course, but yeah, we got a Mustang out here, and yeah, Herman Reese, one of the championship favorites, current points leader by quite a margin, is driving a Cadillac. Not to mention the fact that you also got your assortment of Dodges. You got mostly Chargers, but I do believe that we had a Dart out here at some point. I don't think it's running tonight, but
I like that. Well, you know, Cadillac's a luxury car, so I guess his comfort, he's fast.
Hey, if you're comfortable,
he's comfortable.
Yeah, you feel like you can get it done. He's probably got, I mean, heck, a car that fancy probably has a seat warmer and a seat cooler. He's probably got the seat cooler going.
I was gonna say if he's got, I don't know where this track is. North Carolina today was hot and humid. Gosh.
Actually, you know what? Since we're under caution, it won't hurt. I think I can actually find out. Where does this track fictionally exist?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It doesn't say. It normally says. That's weird.
That is odd.
Wherever
Fred Jones lives.
Look in the I and I. I can look in the I and I. Oh my gosh, I'm literally doing this. I hope I don't crash the game by doing this. Which if I do, then that means that getting... let's see. Waltham, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, okay.
Interesting.
Randy Smith is coming to pit road.
Ah.
So he did peel off. So it's in Massachusetts. Well, huh.
That's interesting. I mean, honestly, with the weather being how it's been up here in New England lately, especially on Sunday, maybe it might need the seat warmers. It was like 60 degrees, wet and rainy, cloudy, just one of those bleh days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually today in Massachusetts, right now it's 67, so it's actually not bad.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound too bad, especially if you're behind the wheel of a race car. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We're having a little too much fun under this extended yellow flag, which, boy, I think this will encourage these guys to keep it green from here, but a lot of different faces up here now. Jeff Stakanis up here in the race lead. Herman Reese, Steve Grant, Fugate, and Steve Rubino are your top 5, followed by KJ Kilojoules, Duke Sorensen, Caleb Lingle, Keith McLean will still be restarting in 9th. We'll see how his car will fare. And Dan Rubino, 10th. In that 44. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on the 13 to see what kind of ground he can make up. As well as the 113.
I was checking the chat and there are no comments. Where's the Rubino fan club?
They're out there somewhere. Maybe they didn't get the link in time. I hope some of you guys from well, it might be a little late, but I hope some of you guys from Premiere are watching. If you know who I'm referring to, you know who you are. See you guys tomorrow. But
yeah, I remember the last time I broadcasted with you here at Hobo, the 07 Steve wrecked, and I mean YouTube chat went crazy.
Yeah, I know. I know the family usually watches, but yep, they're just kind of everyone's just hanging out. But hey, to anyone that is watching, we appreciate you doing so. Just having some fun here at one of the more bizarre tracks on the schedule. We'll be back to regularly scheduled programming next week, but and actually also next week we'll be back with Fast as well. We'll be bringing you guys coverage of that. I'll just have to verify which track it is again, but I'll certainly get on that information as we go on here. But pace car is about to make that hard turn there and back down the pit road. And here we go with Jeff Stakanis, now the race leader, looking for his second win of the season. Finally, he has also had a rough stretch of races here lately, as we're back underway on lap 9 of 53.
Everybody looks to be rolling.
Single file restart, of course, as Steve Grant going to the outside, trying to make that move happen. That is not going to work out. Unfortunately, he will file back into third. Everyone is back going. Troy Donahue, though, is on pit road. That's interesting.
Oh, I wonder what happened to him.
As into the treacherous inner loop we go.
Yeah, I think he just did a drive-through. Huh.
Oh, interesting.
He just drove through. Huh.
I don't know. Maybe some kind of a penalty. I don't know. Everyone looking all good so far, though.
I was checking out the 13 at the back of the pack.
Sorry, just saw Steve Grant wash up the track there. Oh, we got one going around. That is Dan. Look out! Oof. How did no one hit him?
Ooh, there was some big contact, though, from behind.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, he got into the wall there. The 49, man, clobbered him.
Let's see what happened with Dan Rubino here. Coming through the carousel here, as we've called it. Ooh, pushed up into the wall and bouncing off of it. Does end up getting hit by the 49 and spinning. And how the heck that the 77 and the 95 missed him? That is amazing.
Man, yeah. I looked, the Rubino was 40 miles per hour slower than the 49 when they made impact.
That's yeah, you could definitely see the damage there. That may even be some issues for the 49. And we'll kind of watch him along here.
Yeah, the front end damage is usually, even on moderate, sometimes the engine will suffer. Oh, and then the 49 was around. No, that's the 77 went around.
Oh, wow, totally missed that. Ken Hansen through the grass. Came up and got him. My goodness, the 77 involved in more trouble. Whoa, look out. Oof, Ron Simpson, good avoiding action there, 25. Let's have a look there for what happened with Ken Hansen. Ryder, what the heck are you doing here? Good to see you, dude. I guess the YouTube link worked. Or sending it on Facebook. Great to see you, dude. Holy cow. That's an old friend there. So Ken just got stuck in the grass after going low and just there's not much grip down there.
No, I'm sure there's not. He may be okay. Daryl may be okay with that, but the 49, his brother, I am not sure. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I think Dan and Irv are going to be in trouble there as far as the damage. But we'll see. In the meantime, I did go ahead and see what we've got for next week. Fast will be at Pocono. That will be Sunday night. We'll be going live about 9 Eastern time, so keep an eye open for that. And I believe that will also be Pocono for these guys. I will verify that. But if these guys stick to about the about the same schedule as real life NASCAR, obviously just cutting out the road courses, except for this one. I had to go somewhere unique since NASCAR itself went somewhere pretty unique this past weekend as they went to Mexico, which is pretty cool to see, and also must send my congrats to Shane Van Gisbergen on a dominating performance.
Yeah, man, he put a clinic on there.
Hey, he knows a thing or two about road racing.
Yeah, he does. I was listening to the Dale Jr. download or his podcast today about the race, and yeah, looks like an interesting venue, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue to go there.
Yeah, it's the international expansion, but still keeping it on the North American continent, which logistically I'm sure everyone was happy about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Instead
Is
of when they did a race in Japan, what was that, like probably 25, 30 years ago?
Yeah, I think 98, 97. Yeah, is the Mexico City track available for this game?
It is. I know that for sure because a couple years ago when I broadcasted Fast Renegade Cup Series at that point, I did actually broadcast a race from that very racetrack. So it's out there, and
Gotcha.
I wanted to say I did actually turn some laps, and yeah, for what we're used to with like your Sonoma and your Watkins Glen, it's like it is very low speed, very very low speed,
Gotcha.
which did not suit my driving style at all. But
Yeah.
it was fun though. It's a neat course, and yeah, I'd be intrigued to see if any leagues maybe give it a run. I do think that Fast actually did run that this past weekend as well. Don't know who won
Awesome.
though.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Probably Zach
Yeah.
Rogers because he's just that good.
Yeah, I really enjoy Watkins Glen. I like to watch the races at Sonoma, but I just never have gotten very good at Sonoma. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you and I probably both favor the high speed road courses, and Watkins Glen is about as high speed as it gets. Someone's having fun with the emojis in the chat there. I could see that. Or the reacts, I guess you could call
Oh, I see that.
it. Can confirm Pocono next week for these guys as well. That'll be the looks like 2012 FSE for these guys. And I was also curious, like since these guys don't go to the road courses, which track they are replacing that with. I can see that it looks like Watkins Glen is being replaced with Iowa. So that'll be pretty neat. I don't know when Sonoma is in real life, so Josh, would you be able to get that on that for me?
I will check that out.
Because then I can see which which track is replacing that. Probably Chicago, if I had to guess. Because Chicago's July 8th for these guys.
Sonoma is July 13th.
13th. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, these guys did shake up the schedule a little bit because according to this schedule, on the 15th, which these guys usually do that weekend's race the Tuesday after, they were actually going to Richmond. So
Oh, okay.
What's before? Sorry, I know I'm asking a lot, but what's the race before Sonoma?
Chicago Street Course.
Oh, the street course. Okay, that's why. So yeah, they're doing the old Chicagoland.
Yeah.
That makes more sense now. Well, that would be interesting. 2 road courses in a row, pretty much. And then this guy, myself, I'm going to Dover on the 20th. So
Awesome.
I guess I'll send a shout out to anyone. I guess I'll send a shout out to anyone who is listening, who may be going to the Dover Cup race. Certainly, let me know. Maybe we try to meet you. Yeah, Ryder, I see ya. I'm guessing you saw the link on Facebook. It's awesome to see you, man. Hopefully you can hear me.
I think you can. Hopefully.
I would hope so. But yep, thanking anyone tuning in tonight, especially those who maybe checking in from the Facebook lands. I've started trying to actually send the links out for these more and see who all pops in. Of course, an old friend. Good to see you. We've seen some other old friends here, and of course the Rubino fan club, what never disappoints.
Oh yeah.
Let's see,
Yeah,
checking on Dan Rubino there. That thing looks like they fixed it up pretty well. 49. We'll see what kind of speed he'll have on this restart, which we'll be getting here in probably another lap.
Yeah, the 49 looks okay.
No front end crumpling or anything like that. So,
Nah.
fingers crossed that moderate damage will come through. Lights are out on the pace car. We'll be going green on lap 14. I see a lot of clutching going on here. I wonder if these guys may be trying to make it on, let's see, 12. I'd have to math it out a bunch, but they're probably maybe seeing if they could try to reduce the race by pit stop.
Yeah, the back 5 cars of the field just came in and topped off.
Ooh, that'll be a little strategy play there. Maybe not a bad call there, especially if we get a long green flag run going. These guys will probably need to pit again around lap 26, and then 38, and or maybe even if they can try to get an extra lap out of it. I don't know. This will be interesting if this does indeed go green. Exactly how this will play out. So.
It will be. We had the opening laps were green, and we've kind of got stuck on a couple of yellows, but maybe we'll get it going.
There's some long yellows.
Yeah. It's not hard to make a mistake here, though. It won't.
No.
I mean, hats off to these guys for running this track. Although now I'm kind of like, well, I want to get on that track.
This track is fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I raced one time here, and holy moly, is it just one of those tracks that you just feel like you're just lobbing it through the corners. It is so cool to really feel like you're just having at it like that. Let's see, Fugate up to 3rd. Top 5 this restart will be Stacanus, Reese, Fugate, Grant, and Steve Rubino. KJ up to 6th. Caleb Lingle 7th, and Keith McLean 8th. So far so good for those guys. Duke Sorensen and Ricky Bumbalo are now the top 10 as they run. We'll see what kind of run we can get going this time around as the field single files out. Everyone getting caught up. Harry Codian at the very back of the field, maybe just trying to bide his time here now that he's lost track position.
Yeah, these guys are clutching.
They are all clutching hard.
Yeah.
How will pit strategy play into this if we get a green flag run going? Only time will tell. Pace car is going to turn off here once again for the conclusion of our second caution. Still got a long way to go here, 40 laps. And still a good couple of pit stops. As Jeff Stacanus will get him back to the start-finish line. And the green flag will wave.
Yep.
Away we go.
Rolling. Oh, already moving inside. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that from Steve Grant. Fugate had none of that. Took the defensive line there. KJ on Rubino. Gonna not quite get the move on that one. KJ, last week's winner at Michigan.
Ooh.
Looking to go 2 in a row.
That 113 pushed up high up there.
Yeah, I saw that. Now here we go into the inner loop. What's going to happen this time? Seems like sweet spot's kind of like mid 140s. Try and get through here. Everyone looking so far so good.
Yeah, everybody behaved.
Next corner here, the carousel, as I've called it. Duke Sorensen up the track. That will give the advantage to Caleb Lingle through this long sweeper.
Yep, he's there.
AJ trying to get by Steve Rubino. Not quite going to be able to get that to work, and they nearly lock bumpers there. That could have been bumper grab central. But KJ able to get out of that. Through the highest speed front straightaway. Fugate all over the back of the 73. I wonder if these guys are just going to be half throttling it with how hard they were saving fuel. I bet you they're just going to be just going half throttle through that front straightaway.
Yeah, could be. These guys are kind of spaced out too. I'm sure that they want to see some green flag because the yellows are so long. I'm sure they want to click some laps off.
Oh, no doubt about it. As KJ just got up into the top 5 there, got past Rubino. Caleb Lingle with a little run here might try to cross him over here into the next corner.
Oh,
oh, Steve! Oh, look out! There's Bumbalo involved. And Keith McLean also did get a piece and has spun once again.
Oh, Steve Rubino's car is tore up.
Oh my goodness, what happened there?
We'll have to go back and see this.
Yeah, this is a mystery right there, but another incident. 2 of these 3 cautions involve guys at the very front.
Yeah, Steve Grant was the start of the yellow.
Boy. Let's have a little look. Wow. Chaos. Absolute chaos. Get it to the moment of trouble.
Some big hits. Oh man, the 85s tore up.
Let's see what goes on here. He's got to run on Fugate. Actually gets into him. Man, that is bizarre.
Yeah, it kind of shot him up into the wall.
Yeah, it's like it. And then, yeah, he just lost it. And then I think we got a piece, just barely got a piece of the 28.
Oh, the 85. The hole closed up.
Mostly the 85. Yep, he committed, and unfortunately, that was that.
Yeah, Steve was on the right, and the hole just closed up on him. Man, yeah, big damage for him.
I think he was trying to stick with Fugate there, ended up getting to his quarter panel. Yeah, there's the hit there for this 07. There's the 85. Just barely spun out Keith. But man, I'm just surprised at the amount of damage that Steve Rubino had. We're gonna have a quick look at what on earth transpired there. I know that he gets hit here.
Yeah, he's retired too.
Wow.
He must have thought he had too much damage.
Man, it didn't look like he hit the back that hard, and yet it just caved.
Yeah, yep.
Ooh, Ron Simpson. After a little follow-up deal there. He
might could have continued, though, with, a track like this, maybe the rear end. The rear end might not have mattered much.
Yeah.
But he might have had enough of it.
That's
got some pit stops here.
Yeah, the majority of the field coming in this time by. This should set these guys up for probably 2 more pit stops, I do believe.
That should be right.
Yeah, definitely 2, from what I can tell. Let's see who all emerges where. We got our eye on Caleb Lingle right now. We've got the number 1 pit stall, Jeff Stakanis. Oh, he got beat. Caleb will have the race lead once they get this sorted. And there they go. So
sometimes having that first pit stall is a pretty good advantage.
Ole Sitter definitely gets the advantage on that one, especially on these game tracks. And that is big there after not really being involved in that first caution, but definitely dropped him back. He's back on the clutch again. But, wow. That's going to be big right there. See if he's going to be able to hold on to that. Jeff, Herman, KJ, and Fugate, top 5 of the guys that came off pit lane. Ron Simpson, Randy Smith, Harry Cody, and Troy Donahue still out there on the track as of this moment. Yeah, it's only been 3 cautions, but oh boy. Yeah, this track is definitely not track type road course because these cautions are definitely a bit long. But
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Josh, I guess I'll ask you kind of what you're thinking with what you're seeing at this track so far.
Well, there's some good racing. You got to be really careful. I feel like entering the corners, you got to be easy and off the throttle so it doesn't push up. Seems like most of our accidents so far have come from pushing up into someone or into the wall. So you just got to be careful.
Yeah, it was a kind of an odd deal there with Steve Grant kind of bouncing off a Fugate, or it's bounced him into the wall, and then he just went around. One of the more unusual looking incidents, but hey, you're on the edge of control whenever you're running these things, so
Yeah.
kind of just the nature of the beast there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Josh, I'll turn it back to you for another moment here, and I guess I can let you have the floor for a moment. I know that you've got your little deal over at SMO that you run on Monday nights.
Yeah. So the SMO runs on Sunday and Monday, but the Monday night is a 10 race season. We're on season 12 right now. And it's a touring series that kind of visits tracks that you don't see all the time. So like last night we were at the Bull Ring, and next race is at Madison. We always visit a variety. It's not, all super speedways or all short tracks or, so each season there we'll see a dirt track, a super speedway. It'll see some of everything. And everybody's always invited. smo-gaming.com, and that's the Josh's Eggs touring series on Mondays.
That's a fun time.
Yeah, I was going to say you've ran some races there for sure, and we always enjoy having you there.
It's always a pleasure being over there. It's a good, fun group of guys, and very competitive though too. So it's a good place to just kind of have fun and let loose a little bit. So SMO, good place to run, and yeah, Josh's Eggs Touring Series, or Jets, as it were.
Yep.
Definitely a great place to go and race. Of course, these guys here at HOBO, a little more hardcore, running realistic damage, open setups. Well, usually realistic damage. Not tonight, but yeah. If you're interested in running here at HOBO, definitely worth checking out. I would say if you're maybe a little more experienced and maybe want to give it a go. HOBO's, of course, got their own website. You can get in contact with guys like Steve Rubino or any of the admins here and maybe see what you can do. Of course, they also have a Sunday Night Truck series as well that we did a couple races at the beginning of the year, and we had a lot of fun with that. So it'd probably be a good place to start because that's fixed set. Of course, these guys run open here in Cup, so interested in running HOBO, check out the website. HOBO.com in the description.
Yeah, I always feel like this league is one of they're a fixture. I mean, they've been around in the NASCAR 2003 racing forever, and I just feel like they're one of the leagues, and known for good racing and great drivers and people. And so, yeah, HOBO's a special place for sure.
NR2003, I say it a lot of times in these streams that there's rarely a time that you'll not find something that suits you. If you're looking for more experience, or looking for somewhere that's a little more hardcore, or just fun deal with, maybe if you're a little bit less experienced, there's places for just about everything. Small car counts, big car counts, you name it. It is still, while it might not be as strong as it was in its heyday, It's certainly come around quite a bit, and still
Oh yeah.
continues to put on great racing. Got all kinds of different leagues running. Of course, Maverick is doing their thing right now. You could go check out TarnationTV. I'm sure they're live right now. Our guy Zach Rogers is streaming his POV. They're at Road America.
Yep. Another
BPNR
road
is a
course.
totally different league, with some offline guys that actually do race. So
Yeah, have you seen there's a Google sheet of leagues that are up and running. Have you seen that?
really, I have not. I
I'll have
would
to
be
Yeah, I'll share that with you. It's a pretty neat it's a spreadsheet that has all the leagues that are running. Well, I'm sure some are missing, um but it's pretty cool to look at. There are
okay.
a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll yeah, definitely shoot that my way. I'd be intrigued to see like maybe how many I recognize, how many I might be missing out on, and maybe try and go from there. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'll actually I'll drop the link in the chat.
Perfect. Awesome. Also, look who's in the lead. Harry Kodian. Look at that. From leading to the back and back up to the front again. And we're not even halfway. Let's see if we can try to get a green flag run going this time. But Harry Kodian has stayed out and has got his track position back. He might be the one guy that probably wouldn't complain much if we do get a caution, and then he can try to get back in sequence with everybody. But I'm sure that he's hoping that he can try to pit pretty close to the sequence with these guys and doesn't have to make an extra pit stop compared to all of them.
Yeah, for sure. The lights are out on the pace car, so they'll be going green here pretty shortly.
See if we can get a run going here. 13, 113, 31, 73, and 029. The 029, the oddball out in that top five, who doesn't have a 3 in his number. But hey, that's KJ. He's just an oddball in general. I can say
Not,
that because he's an awesome dude. We race him over at BSR. We always have a good time.
yeah, here we go.
What do we got going on this time? And now that Harry Kodian has found his way back to the front, we know that car's got great speed. But he's got Caleb Lingo right behind him, who I know is probably going to want that lead back after he thought he took it. But hey, two guys that were in trouble in that first caution back up to the front here. Lap 20 of 53.
Yeah, and the 13 doesn't have a win this season, so a win would be pretty big.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Again, we were saying, if there's anyone that might be able to add his name to the wins list this season, that 13 could have potential this race. Let's see how we get through the corner here. Ooh, Caleb way up. And got a little too much out of that one. Guy's getting a little squirrely. He's going to lose a couple spots, but managed to hold on to it. Check it through the rest of the field. A little stack up here behind. Oh my goodness! Greg Stenzo is going to get into the 85. He's going to spin
big
it.
wreck.
Oh,
Man.
big indeed. Flipping.
Someone was upside down.
That was Stenzo.
Yeah, that's going to be a yellow.
Yeah, they were jammed up there through the inner loop and then into that carousel corner. And that all started with someone getting into, I believe it was the 85. Actually, yeah, the 49 just about got into the 85, but no, it was Stenzo that was he was just losing control.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
And he almost saved it until he bounced off of the 49.
Yeah, he bounced off of the 85 and then the 49.
Yeah,
Or 50, 51?
he was
Oh, that's the
pinballing it quite a
51.
bit.
Man, 51 took a wild ride. Watch this.
You ain't kidding. Yeah, he just loses it. Tries to hold on to it. 85 is there. Into the wall. And our physics kind of take over and bounce him into the 44. Actually surprised he didn't flip more.
Yeah, me too.
There's your guys at SMO.
Oh, were they in the chat?
Calling out the Eggman.
Yeah, I shared the link with those guys so they can get some good TV tonight.
No, it's good TV whenever you're on board.
Oh, you're nice. You do a good job.
Hey, we're just saying, with how long these cautions are, which again, it's not these guys' fault, it's just the nature of the design of the track. But we got to keep it entertaining up here. And unfortunately, someone that's definitely not entertained is that 051 after going tumbling, but he's still out there. He is trying to lug this thing around. He's a little tore up, but got that thing down pit lane trying to fix it up. You just never know.
Yeah, his car is a little shorter right now than he started.
Yeah, just a little bit. Steve Grant's back in 15th right now. Ryan Johnson has not had much of an opportunity to gain much ground.
Here we go. Lots of cars coming to pit road.
Everyone in the second. Oh, Keith. That was a late call there.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys opting to bring it in this time.
I'm going to watch the 051 and see what happens with him. Maybe they'll... You know, there was one time, a race I ran, the driver of the engine, I thought, blew up. We all thought it blew up. And he went to the pits and they fixed it. I mean, it was blown up and they fixed it. And ever since then, I'm like, well, never underestimate your pit crew.
It's never over until you say it's over.
Yep.
So that I think that adage can definitely be applied there for the 051. See what kind of damage repair he gets. Of course, Keith McLean was having a bit of a moment getting into his pit box, but I think he's just taking the safe play here. Stenzo's still just hanging out. We'll see if he still has that back end. Yep, it's all right.
They pushed it out a little bit. I watched, and they were able to push it out just a little bit.
The big question to me is, does he have engine damage?
Yeah.
At a track like this, that'll ruin you. That'll end it pretty much, or any remote competitive driving that you'll be able to do if you got any form of engine damage.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm always partial to an 85 car, so I hate to see that he's had such trouble.
I think that every race that you have done with me in this league, I think that he's found trouble.
Yeah, I remember the last one. I said, look at the 85, he's doing well. And then immediately I jinxed him.
Oh my gosh, I have to go watch it. I think I vaguely remember that. I have to go watch that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was within like probably 10 seconds of you saying something that he got something.
Yep.
That, Josh, is what we call, and I'm sure everyone is familiar with it, the announcer's jinx. We've all done it, and it will continue to happen as long as the NR gods say so. Just ask Stuart Gratton when I picked him in an offline race, and he wrecked on the first lap.
Oh, man.
Well, let's see.
You got the 28 still back in the pits, coming out.
He's still there. Oh my gosh. Oh, I bet you he went to take a pee break.
He might have.
I know Keith. He does that from time to time, especially in these long cautions. Hey, benefit. He didn't have to lose a lap.
Yeah. I mean, I watched. He was sitting there a long time. So
that would not surprise me in the slightest. As long as these guys continue to go at the pace that they are, Harry Kodian will be the race leader ahead of Jeff Stakanis. Herman Reese, Fugate, and Caleb Lingle is in the top 5. After restarting second, fell back 3 positions there. Kilojoules, Ken Hansen 7th. Hello there, 94. First time seeing him there. Duke Sorensen still hanging in there. Eddie Rayleigh up to 9th. Ray Dog, as they call him, and Wiley King in 10th. But at this rate, coming to 30 laps to go this time, I think, I don't know, I think we've got some very... I'm not going to really call anything that we're going to be seeing quite yet, just based on kind of the nature of these extended yellow flags, and if we get any more of them. I don't know how that could end up playing out or not. As we keep passing that chandelier-looking light. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we had the back part of the field again pitted. Probably got some more fuel. Really don't have anything to lose pitting from back there, so.
Yeah, just kind of keep yourself occupied as we pace around at 75 miles per hour. How messed up is that? You're pacing around at 75.
Yeah, pace speed is pretty high, but such a long track.
3.77 miles is the exact number. These guys pacing around at 75, they're doing about 3 minutes to get around here, so there's some good math there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a long pace lap.
I will admit, though, I don't think that Harry Codian really minds this too much because, again, with the fact that he stayed out, and this will put him a little closer to the sequence of the guys around him. So I think that this will put him way less on the back foot as far as pit strategy goes. Let's see, as they've run a couple laps under caution here. You're probably looking at 11 to 12 laps at this point on a tank. That'll probably get you a lap 30, 34 to 35. And then, yeah, you'll be able to make it on 2 stops for sure from here. Pretty much no matter what you're running at this point, I think. As long as Harry is able to fall into that 2-stop window from here, he should be in pretty good shape as long as he continues to hold on to that track position, even though it's not guaranteed at this point. Ooh, Herman opting for the
went
pits.
To pit road. Yep. I saw them ducking, and they all stayed on the track except him. Oh, in the 10.
10, and I believe I saw one more in there. Yep, 81, so.
The lights are out.
Yeah, this has been a little arduous, but again, right, just a big track. Just gotta navigate around here under the pace car.
Seems like each yellow has gotten bigger. It's like the crashes have gotten worse. So maybe we got that out of our system and we'll go green for a while.
But if this pattern continues, and I hope I'm wrong, but we've had 4 cautions, and both cautions 1 and 3 involve guys that were pretty much run at the very front. Hopefully, that is not a sign of what's to come.
I hope not.
for the odd number cautions. Eric Codian looking bad fast at 31. Still looking to turn his luck around after some bad runs here as of late, but always sneaky, always quietly running in the top 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, that win here. He's been there the whole race. I mean, he's been right around the conversation at the front the whole race so far.
And I'm not surprised by that whatsoever. Fugate with a couple of wins. There's Keith trying to whisper me. Fugate winner at the 2nd Texas race as well as Rockingham. Or the 1st Texas race, rather, excuse me, that we did not broadcast. The 2nd Texas race was won by Herman Reese in an incredible last lap pass on Wiley King. Of course, Wiley eventually got his revenge by winning at Nashville. Jeff Sakanis, winner of the 2nd race of the season at Atlanta. Absolutely shocking that he has not won since. But looking to maybe turn that around. Caleb Lingle, the Vegas winner.
I thought we were going green, but the pace car lights are back on.
They are back on. Something
happened.
Either transpired or maybe someone blew up. Not sure.
Hmm.
We'll take a quick look at... Oh my gosh, it was Herman. He blew up.
No way.
Header. Gone on that 73. Let's have a look. Wow.
So that's why he peeled off. Well, no.
No,
He's
I think that...
smoking.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it happened after the fact. Let's see, he pits. All is well. Pulls out.
Oh, yeah. It just grenades.
Oh my gosh. You are absolutely right. Out of, we'll call that turn 2, I suppose. And rando failure.
That was kind of odd to me. He went to fourth gear, it started smoking, and then it quit, and then it started back.
And unless he misshifted, and that's what blew it up. But that to me just looked like a random.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not the Cadillac. Come on, Cadillac.
Man, we've been talking about guys that have had a good run, good luck streaks and bad luck streaks. Herman has starting to fall into that bad luck streak here. He's had some. I think he got involved in some incidents at Nashville. He spun in the final run at Michigan after getting hit by the 28. And now this. The things are not looking too sporty for the point leader. But of course, with the chase, though, I mean, I would say that he's still a favorite. But wow, that's a heavy hitter that just went out right there, and he is going to join Ron Simpson, DJ, and Steve Rubino out of the race. That's 4 drivers out. Still 19 in the race and all on the lead lap.
Yeah, I wanted to note that Ron Simpson retired, and I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I saw that. I was surprised.
Well, I just went back and looked. He had pitted, and they repaired the left side of the car, and he retired as soon as they fixed it.
I don't know if maybe he found out he had engine damage, or maybe perhaps some external factor. You just never know.
Could be.
We are just shy of the halfway point here. Let's see if we can get a run going this time around. But a little more attrition in this race than I was expecting. But you got a Camaro, and then 2 Chargers, and then a Fusion and an SS.
There we go.
That is a very, very eclectic top 5 manufacturers and makes right there. It's pretty cool. Some heavy hitters up here, though, including Jeff Stacanis, Fugate, KJ, Caleb Lingle looking to try to keep his good runs going. Harry Kodian, though, looking for that first win and trying to get himself a solid run up here.
Yeah, here we go. Time to get going.
Get this party started once again. Green flag back out once again. And Caleb Lingle wasted no time here for 3rd. AJ looking to maybe follow suit here on Fugate. Not quite going to be able to get under there. That will be 4th place now for Fugate. Lingle up to 3rd. And here we go into the trouble section. What is going to transpire here? No one's just going to keep these cars under them.
Everybody did a nice job. Yeah, the 113's looking outside, inside.
Oof. He's being bold after what we've been seeing.
Yeah, he was.
Looking on Steve Grant. That's back in 11th. Keith McLean's going to be on a tear here. We know that. Everyone got through.
Got the 113 outside at Fugate.
Fugate going to take the spot back that he just lost on that restart. Jeff Stacanis pushing the 13. KJ just followed suit there and is going to get up to 4th. I see some big speeds here, as we always do. As everyone lets off there, trying to keep some safe gaps.
Ooh, 214 through that corner.
I was going to say, I say safe, but you can only be so safe when you're running these speeds. 13 pushed up, 31 may try to take advantage.
Yep. Now he's going to be on the outside in this corner. 13 may keep the position. Whoa.
Yeah, don't overdrive it.
Oh, here we go. Fugate's underneath, bringing the 113 with him.
Ooh, good move there. You have 13 or... Oh my gosh, there's too many 3s and 1s up here. 31 dropped to 4th. Caleb Lingle with the spot. And Fugate with a good run here. We'll see if he's going to use the slipstream or just try to push him. Oh my goodness, what a twitch. There, it's 113. I thought that was going to be a big moment.
Yeah, I'm sure the 113, I mean, that didn't work out well for him.
No, yeah, he went from 5th up to 3rd and now back to 5th all in the course of a lap. Fugate now pushing the 13. And going to look for the move. Oh, he hits the flat. That will allow the 13 to keep it.
Yeah, the 13 did a good job of kind of protecting the inside. Not so much now as he comes inside.
Yeah, you do have to let off a little bit in that second corner. Coming into the inner loop now. KJ run on Jeff.
13 will have the preferred line, though.
That is very true. Oh, wow, yeah, big wiggle there. Fugate going to wash up there. Probably going to lose another spot here to the steak and eggs.
There you yeah. Yeah, if you can protect the lead, you're going to put the guys behind you in an uncomfortable situation. I feel like, trouble. 113's in the wall.
My goodness, a good save. Man, that thing just twitched and caught. Credit to him for not slamming the wall with all of his might. I thought that was about to be even worse.
Yeah, he fell back to 8th.
And now Jeff Stakanis up here in 2nd place. Harry Kodian, every single lap that we've been under green, has had a different guy behind him.
Yeah, and he's been the man out front.
And he's held on to it. And credit to him there is flying 210 through that corner. Got to get it down to about 200 this next corner. And then all the way down to about 140 in the next one. Again, the 13, though. That does not seem to be his favorite corner.
Yeah, that's the corner he's been losing. Ooh, and now he'll make it up here because the 31's disadvantaged.
Going to try to get the run on the 9 to try to stay ahead of him. Looks like he will successfully pull that off. Got a little run going now.
13's done a good job in that corner of making the person behind him go up high, and then that person has to battle 3rd place.
It's like he knows that even though that's not his good corner, as long as he's on the inside, that's going to be what matters. All around the next corner. So props to him for that. He's still got Jeff right on his tail. KJ on the tail of Fugate. How about Ken Hansen, top 5 here for the 94?
Yeah, we haven't said much about him.
No, yeah, he's been creeping his way forward. We always kind of mention the fact that he is the only other pole sitter this season outside of Keith McLean, Caleb Lingle, and Herman Reese. Those guys have all the pole positions except for one, and Ken Hansen is the other one.
Wow.
And that was at Bristol. I remember that. Oh, Jeff, big run here. He's going to get to the preferred lane here.
No, the 13 left the inside. Well.
Wow.
He held on to it.
He held on to it. He just went like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to send it around the outside, and it worked.
Yeah, it did, and now he'll be set up for this corner, too. Yeah, I was afraid he was going to lose the lead there.
That's the various different ways that you could take these corners. It's very wide, and obviously you get the big enough arc, and that will benefit you, but now he's going to be on the outside potentially here. No, we're going to get clear. Brilliant.
Stakanis just cut him a break there.
Oh, did he lift?
I'm not sure. I thought he had a good enough run there.
Ugate's got a run here on the 31, see if he gives him the push or goes for it. Looks like he's going to give him the push. AJ right on these guys' tail as well. Man, Josh, I got to ask you, how nerve-wracking is it when you're in a position like Stakanis, like Fugate, when you know you have to lift off for this next upcoming corner, but you got someone right on your tail. Does that almost entice you to overdrive it because you're like, oh, he's going to run into me then?
Oh yeah, I'm the king of that. Oh yeah, yeah, because you don't want to get run over. You don't want to lose a spot. I mean, you want to gain spots, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty stressful.
I hate being in that position. I would so much rather be just on the attack. I would rather be in a position like where Duke Sorensen is right now, just to let everyone just do their thing in front of me. Which
Yeah,
also got to send a shout out to Duke Sorensen here. He is. I don't think he's really fallen out of the top 10 at any point in this thing. So props to
yeah,
him.
yeah. There's a
And
couple of those guys in the back half of the top 10 we've not mentioned, but they have been right there the whole race.
they're
Yeah, the
doing a
30.
great job.
I think Stacanus has taken a different approach. Oh, we got pit stop.
Oh, he had to pit. Well, hey, he was off sequence. And the time finally came. And he
We're
is
going
coming down
speed.
pit lane. Now, this is okay, though, because him and everyone else still had to two-stop it. So all these guys are going to be able to go longer, and they're going to have the draft, which will also really benefit them. But they will have to pit, so that's not necessarily a game ender there for the 13. It's just going to put him on an alternate strategy. Maybe he can hopefully try to draft with somebody. That's going to be big. Or he's going to have to put together some fantastic laps to try to maintain decent speed with everybody.
Yeah, I'm watching him come out of the pits here. He might be alone here.
Gonna need some good fortune and try to maintain some lap time. So that will move everybody up a spot. Let's see, right now Jeff Stacanis, the race leader, ahead of Fugate, KJ, Ken Hansen, and Duke Sorensen, the top 5. Wiley King in 6th. Caleb Lingle, 7th, holding on to that thing. Despite side damage, just ran his personal best of the whole race, that last lap. Keith McLean up to 8th and is closing on these guys. Eddie Rayleigh, Steve Grant just got by Ricky Bumbleau there for a top 10. You get right up to the tail of 31 once again. That's that draft. And we got a great run going here so far. Longest green flag run of the night thus far. And coming into the treacherous inner loop. Ooh, good corner there for KJ. Now, how much of this... this is definitely a track where the speeds are high enough that, obviously, as we've been saying, draft is going to play a big part in this. How much of this do you think that you would be wanting to work together with the guys around you just to try to essentially super speedway draft, especially on some of these bigger straightaways?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if we have green flag stops, it's going to shake things up, and I think depending on how well they go, yeah, that's tight. The racing there.
Yeah, you see Ken Hansen there. He's having a moment. Duke Sorensen has to bring it in, as does Ken.
Yeah, if you don't have a good little draft, the race may be over for you if you're planning to win, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. These guys are running high 111s. Or 1 minute 11s, I should say. It looks like Ryan Johnson also pitted. Where is Harry? There he is. He's still on his outlap, so we won't be able to get a great idea of his speed quite yet. As it looks like Wiley King just dropped back a little bit there. Caleb Lingle just got by him. Keith McLean got by him. Top 3 remain unchanged. But I think they're going to be pitting here pretty soon.
Yeah, Stacanus had opened up a little bit of a lead there.
Just kind of checked on, just out of my own curiosity, checked on who's got the fastest lap so far. That is KJ Kilojoules. He is the only guy to have run a lap in the 110s thus far. Oh, think they're bringing it in. Here we go.
Here they come.
Top 3. Stacanus, KJ, Fugate. Here comes Lingle. Here comes Wiley King. Get her down to 70 miles an hour. Not too hard to do in that regard. It's going to be getting into your stall where it's really going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. And that gave the lead to Keith McLean.
Everyone doing a great job of getting into their stalls there. I'm very impressed. Yep, Keith
Yeah,
McLean
me
there
too.
with staying out. Ricky Bumbalo has stayed out. Dan Rubino, Rob Heath, Irv Johnson have all remained on the racetrack thus far. Now, the big question here is going to be, where is the 13 going to come out among these drivers? Is he going to be anywhere near them? He's going to catch some of them.
Yep, he did.
But he is going to fall back in relation to where he was. Remember, he was leading when he pitted. He's at least now going to have Caleb Lingle in front of him, which will be good.
Oh, he's going to go inside. Well,
yeah, he's a little far back to make anything happen there, but Fugate is right ahead of the 113, who's right ahead of the 13. KJ's there. Yeah, everybody stayed pretty well on top of each other there. Jeff Stacanis will inherit the race lead here once everyone does pit.
Dan Rubino heading in the pits. At 85 is in the pits.
AJ's still out there. Excuse me. My goodness, that's how much these guys race with each other. Keith McLean's still out there, though.
Yeah, he ran almost a 1 minute 13 second lap there.
Yeah. Rob Heath has stayed out along with the 49, and Randy Smith's still out there as well. So top 4 is still yet to pit. There's a run here for KJ on Jeff Stacanis, which will be for the net race lead. Was not able to take advantage of it that time. Newgate trying to close. There's Caleb. There's Harry. All these guys still in it with a chance as they run, but of course they are going to have to pit again. As here comes Keith. Down the pit lane he comes from the race lead. I think Rob Heath going to follow suit. Irv Johnston remains out there yet again. That will temporarily give him the race lead.
So when it cycles back, looks like probably Stacanis will be in the lead.
It will be Stacanis then, as Randy Smith is going to bring it in. That leaves Irv Johnston as the only guy yet to pit. And there you see the top 5 all going by. Well, what will be the net top 5 of Jeff Stacanis, KJ, Fugate, Caleb Lingle, and Harry Kodian. Looks like Keith McLean is unfortunately going to end up losing that draft. But we'll see if he's able to put together some good enough lap times to maybe try to close in on them. It's definitely doable. But we'll see.
Got Donahue on pit road doing a...
Yeah, he's just
pitting for service.
Yeah, he's just been kind of hanging out there tonight so far.
I think the 49 is probably coming in this time.
Here he comes.
Yep, there he goes.
He will relinquish the race lead. He was the last one to have to pit. I think he'll still be able to lead this lap. He did not technically lead that last lap. Oh yeah, he'll get that lap led. There we go.
Yep. So that eventually will cycle out Stacanis back to the lead. There he goes across the line.
AJ right on his tail.
You know, he's looking for his first win of the year. I was going to ask you, like...
Oh!
Tight racing. Man, they're battling.
Yeah,
you know, when you win a race, I mean, does the track make it more special? Like, how do you look at a win like that? You know, does sometimes the track make it mean more or less, or the same?
I mean, for me, I don't know. Different ways of winning races tend to feel different ways in comparison to the track. If it's a one-off, like, special event, such as, like, Talladega, for example, ooh, someone spun.
Yeah, it looks like they did.
Someone spun it there in the carousel. No caution.
It was the 051.
Yeah, that thing's looking pretty worse for wear.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it just It just went around on him.
Glad no caution. Jeff Stacanis up here in the race lead. I'll just kind of finish that point by saying, if I feel like I've really earned a win in regard to like how I drove the race, that's usually what feels the best over where the track is at, unless it's like a one-off special event, like Talladega. That's probably the big one that if I ever won that race, I would be over the moon, because I see that almost as like, I don't know, my own personal Daytona 500.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the 051, I went back and watched. I think he actually downshifted and it sent the car around.
I think these guys are mostly downshifting just in that inner loop, but they don't need to do it here, where the leaders are right now. Caleb Winkle's got a little side to side going. Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
No!
That's going to be a yellow and probably at the end of somebody's race.
It's going to be the end of two guys' race.
Oh my gosh! Was that the 77?
That was Stenzo. That was the 051, and the 9 of Fugate just wailed him. Did he just lose it again in the same way? He did.
Yeah.
He self-spun. Oh my word. He's keeping it low, and then, yeah, just
oh no,
trying to probably get it back straight. Just let off the brake.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that was massive.
Yeah, the 9 is destroyed. I mean,
his race is over. Plain and simple. Even if he keeps going, his race is over.
That almost took out the top 4. I mean, the 31 barely. I mean, he just turned hard left.
I think the 113 drove under Stenzo.
Yeah, he did. Wow.
Fugate gets it back going. We'll get one more look at that, and then we'll see who all pits. There's no way they're going to be able to make it from here. There's just no way. But oh my word, yeah, great job by Stacanis and KJ there,
especially and Lingle.
But yeah, watch Lingle here. Oof, heart in your throat moment right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we have a couple more retirees. Looks like Dan Rubino retired along with Stenzo.
You know what? We still got him coming around the pit road here. Let's get an onboard shot here with the 113. This is going to look unbelievable. He's going to try to get kind of past the point where he was kind of warping there. There we go. All right, here we go. On board, Caleb Lingle.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, a good job though.
Yeah, he got a little lucky there, but also, yep, just took the right course of action. As everybody on pit road. And I doubt, well, we're taking lap 41.
They could make it.
I think they can. You're going to have to save a little, but I think with how long these cautions are, I actually think these guys are going to be good.
Yeah, you might be able to.
I totally mismathed it there.
Looks like the 9 stayed out. I mean, I'm sure he's
just like, yeah, I'm just going to get what I can, and that's it. Randy Smith's still out there. Jeff Stacanis to the race lead here ahead of KJ. That remains unchanged. Steve Grant to third. Hello. And I think these guys are still kind of sorting out where they're at. Looks like Caleb Lingle did get ahead of Wiley King, who will be ahead of Duke Sorensen. So it'll be Wiley King 5th, Sorensen 6th, Eddie Rayleigh 7th, and then probably Ken Hansen, Ricky Bumbalo, and Ryan Johnson will be the top 5.
Yeah, if we stay green, I'm sure some people are going to try to make it from here.
I think Keith McLean may have gotten EOL there. That's, boy, one up and down, mostly down night for Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Rather unfortunate there, but that was a great run going there. Very, very unfortunate that it came to an end like that. Man, it's almost like you don't want to be running up at the front. We saw guys run up at the front getting into early trouble, and then things settle down, and now a catastrophic moment there for Fugate. Back at he's still going. I props to him, but we'll see how much damage repair he's going to be able to get out of that.
Yeah, that car is. Yeah, that was. I felt like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, the track is blocked, and here comes the lead 4 cars.
Very fortunate that it was only him. It could have easily been all 4 of them.
Oh yeah.
Or at the very least 2.
Yeah.
We got some guys topping off here.
Yeah, I would. I don't. Oh, some people are not topping off.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yep, opting for the track position. Yeah, I think that if you're clutching, you're going to be just fine. That is my prediction here. I think that you're going to be just fine at this point. It's 12 to go now. So I think these guys are going to be good to go.
I'm going to see what they can do on this 9 car.
I've got the camera on him right now, and he's going to be sitting there a while. He's going to try. Props to him. He's going to see what he can try to get out of this. He's going to check in further up here and see where everyone's at. Looks like Troy Donahue was a lap down. He will get his lap back. Just the Canis just had a moment. He just dropped way back.
Looks like the 9 car, they didn't keep him in the pits long.
He's coming back out, albeit slowly. He's pondering what to do. If I were him, yeah, I'd just be calling it a race, but that's also just because I have very little resolve. I will fully admit that.
Oh, there he goes.
So Jeff Stacanis will be the race leader ahead of KJ. Jeff Stacanis, again, has won a race this season, but that was way back at Atlanta, the 2nd race of the season, the first Cup race that we did for this guy, for my goodness gracious, for these guys.
Got some clutching going on.
I'm not surprised one bit. Yeah, I'm sure all these guys are gonna be trying to make it. Oh, I think your 85 just got a EOL.
Looks like the Donahue's gonna take the wave around.
Yeah, I think he was the only guy lap down. They're gonna let him back on the lead lap here. That'll put everybody still on track on the lead lap, which will be 17 cars. And Zach has popped into the chat. Good to see you, man. Hope Road America went well. Yeah, it has been a little bit of a marathon here, but still, this track is cool. I'm digging it. I'm jealous. I wish I was out there.
Yeah, I know. It's a cool track.
Should be lights out this time, I imagine.
Yep.
10 laps to go when we take the green. Oh, my.
Well,
Fuel
let's
may be
find.
somewhat of a question mark, but I still think we'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I have a bad history with fuel. Last season at TMP, I thought I had a pretty good strategy, and then the last lap, I ran out 2 races in a row. But hopefully they've got enough fuel, and they are clutching, and we're gonna find out who's hungry here because we know the 31 wants a win. He's not won this season, right? And so,
He has, but way back.
oh, that's right. The 31 has, yeah.
Yeah, but that was back on the second race.
Yeah, he's ready for another one.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that Zach got wrecked 3 times. That's not good.
No.
Not good.
No. I mean, hey, if you rally to finish second still, that's impressive.
Yeah, man. Second place, wrecked 3 times.
He's just that good. But
Yep.
also understandable on the not being too thrilled.
Yeah. Now, have you been to a Steak and Shake?
No, actually. As a matter of fact, I couldn't even tell you where the nearest one is.
So they're really good. Pretty cheap, and their burgers and ice cream are good. They have the skinny French fries.
You know what? Now you got me curious. We still got another 2 corners before they go green here. Let's break out the old iPhone and let's see what do we got for Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I always enjoy going there.
What is the nearest one to me?
He's battling with the pace car.
Steak and Shake. It would appear as though the nearest Steak and Shake to me is in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
Which is 2.5 hours away.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you have a while to go.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that actually might not be a bad idea for if we do that.
Looks like
Sorry, you just completely opened up a floodgate of ideas for me.
Looks like 45 minutes for me? No, that's not right. All right, we're going green. We'll eat later.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah.
Well, someone who's hungry for a win and seeing this race through is Jeff Stacanis. Here we go. You got a guy looking for his first win in a hot minute, and a guy looking for his second win in a row. And another guy looking for another win. Duke Sorensen is fourth. How do you do? Ryan Johnson making moves. Eddie Rayleigh's up here. He's a 2-time winner this season. Oh, they're getting stacked up here, though. That's 3 wide.
3 wide, yeah.
Hold on, boys. This is the trouble corner. And all that, KJ took the lead.
Yeah, 28's in the wall. I bet we have a wreck back there.
Oh, nope. Somehow no. He saved it. And Fugate just passed him.
Wow. I don't know how they navigated that.
Still in some loose quarters here, but looks like they're all going to navigate it safely. Oof. He's trying to pass Rob Heath without spinning him. Goodness. A little close to the corner panel there, boys. Like KJ checking out.
Yeah, the way he navigated that corner a while ago was really good before he made that pass. Yeah, he swooped down, got good speed into the corner. Yeah,
KJ
wow.
Killadrew
He does have the fastest lap. Wow.
He does.
1 minute 10.
Only guy in the 110s as of now.
Somebody's in the wall.
Battle for fourth. We're looking at Sorensen and Hansen. Big send there for Sorensen. Man, he's holding 160 through there. That's impressive. Harry Kodian back into the top 5, it looks like. Or top 6. He just got by Eddie Rayleigh. And Jeff Stacanis took the lead back, and of course, every time I look away. Caution. You said one was in the wall.
Yeah, I was looking for that. Somebody got into the wall back there. But I thought they gathered it up. Maybe they did not.
I think we're racing back here still. Difticanus will lead them back. Top 6 remain pretty much unchanged. Yeah, let's find out here. What may have transpired? Ooh, someone. Oh! In the inner loop, by himself, Keith McLean.
Oh, no.
From bad to worse to okay to miserable.
Yeah,
he was
before
trying.
that,
He was really trying.
Yeah. Before that, the 78, I finally found who it was. It was the 78.
Oh, it's Ryan.
Got
Oof.
into the wall by himself. Yeah, he hit the apron. Yeah. Got him out of shape.
It has not been on. It has not been a great night for Ryan Johnson. He has just been kind of stuck a good ways back.
Looks like McLean retired.
Yeah, he did. Opted out and said that is enough for me. Well, this will definitely get these guys to make it to the end now, regardless.
Yeah. We find Stachanus back in the lead.
We do find him back in the lead. You know what? Actually, since we're still in a caution and we missed that pass for the lead, let's take a look and see how he did it. Because this could be the move of the race. Let's see. Thought Candelingo was going to have a run on him, so I was just kind of focused further back. Wait, KJ must have slipped up or something. Let's see. These several car lights between them. Yeah, KJ just a little bit up the track, and Jeff got to that inside. That is absolutely the place to be if you're going to make a move through that
absolutely.
inner
loop. Some guys talking about pitting, but they did not. They're thinking about it.
One thing is for sure, though, at this amount of lap count on these cautions, we're only going to have one more restart. Any cautions after that will end it. I give credit to Fugate, though. He's actually fighting those guys pretty well.
Yeah, he got up. He kind of stalled out. I think he got up to 13th or 14th, and it seemed like he kind of stalled out there. But he did just pit. I don't know if he got. Yeah, I think he got some tires, maybe. Yep, 4 tires. He's on his way.
Considering the damage and what he what just happened to him, I'm impressed, and that is cool to see him still at it. Fugate's another guy that I think is deserving of getting back into victory lane here very, very soon. Against Pocono next week for these guys, and at Fast. That will be Sunday night. So definitely tune in for that. It's been a long one here at the Papyrus Game Track, Papyrus Motorsports Park. A unique track, but a fun track. But a track that also is taking some bites out of these guys. Pocono, though, is going to be a whole different challenge. 3 different corners, 3 different ways that you got to drive them.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a big challenge there, and I think they've got 70 laps on the schedule at the moment. So, yeah, we're gonna have some good races coming up. I think they're going back to Atlanta after that. So,
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge, but that's gonna be pretty cool.
Now called Echo Park. That's so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Same deal applies for Worldwide Technology Raceway, but it's Gateway. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a drag strip in Phoenix where the NHRA goes. That's technically actually no that's one in Houston actually. I think it's Royal Purple Raceway, but you're always just gonna call it Houston.
Right.
But the track in Phoenix has something like that. I just can't think of what it is. Gosh darn it, that's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah. So we've got Stacanus in the lead, KJ in second. Lingle's made it up to third.
Watch for that 113. And he's had some killer restarts too. Oh my god, we're still under caution.
Yep, we are.
Oh my lord. Blaine, what's up, man? TarnationTV in the house.
Blaine.
You know what? I just remembered. I need to confirm, but Blaine, if I recall correctly, I think I had you lined up for a fast at Pocono on Sunday. And that'll be so freaking awesome being able to get into the booth with Blaine again.
Oh, yeah. You guys are masters at this.
I mean, Zach's always my right-hand man. And we always have a fun time with it, especially the fact that we share the same music taste. So we always go off about Sleep Token pretty much anytime that, we're under caution, essentially.
Right.
That's always a good time. Blaine is just always a fun time. Josh, yourself, it's like I was telling you, you're always just such a positive vibe to have in the booth or at the racetrack whenever we're racing.
No, I appreciate that. Likewise, I appreciate you asking me to do it. For
Gladly.
sure. It's a lot of fun and enjoy watching these guys out there.
We got Caleb Rose in the booth for a couple races last week. Another guy that always brings so much enthusiasm, whether it's online or offline, that he's doing. I think I had Josh Mercurio up here for a race, which was
nice.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Blake Warren I had for a race. I got to get him up here again. At this rate, I just got so many guys that I have fun doing this with that I got to get some 3-man booths going.
Right.
I think we'd have a hoot with that.
Yeah, it's a, you'll have to do, the graphic on TV they do with the guest broadcaster or whatever, the driver broadcaster of the race, you'll have to do a graphic.
Oh my gosh. If I do a driver's only broadcast, where it's like, if I get like, I don't know, like you and, probably Zach. Actually, no, Zach, honestly, I feel does a better job as the play-by-play guy. I'm gonna be real. I've seen the races that he's done so far. I know he's trying to he's maybe thinking about maybe trying to do some stuff. So I think that he's way more cut out for that. And Zach, yeah, I would argue is a far better commentator than myself.
What's so cool as the lights go out on the pace car is after all these years, there's so many people that we can name that are so good at doing the broadcasting, and that we have broadcasting for a game that's over 20 years old.
Yeah, JTN's still at it now and then. FRN is still at it now and then.
Yep.
Blaine is kicking butt.
JTN.
Yeah, JTN.
You said that, I think.
I did.
My letters are running together.
Yeah, you're good. I keep calling myself TDN, even though I used to be TRN, but we kind of switched to TDN, even though it sounds more like Touchdown Network, but casual football viewer, perhaps, this would be the most that I could say I am.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't be
is in the
help.
chat.
I wouldn't be much help if you were doing a football game.
I wouldn't. Magoo in the chat. Go get him, KJ. KJ
He
out
won
here
last
representing
week.
BSR.
Yeah, he was the winner last week, so. But Stakanis has been tough. If they want to win, they're going to have to get around him.
Oh, yeah. Caleb Lingle has been killer on these restarts. Credit to Duke Sorensen and Ken Hansen, both guys up here in the top 5. Harry Codian has recovered to 6th. Eddie Rayleigh, Ricky Bumbalo, Wiley King, Irv Johnston are the top 10 as they run. Will we make it to the white flag is the question. I don't know, but we're going to have 5 laps, or 4 laps. 4. Yes, 4.
That
4 laps at the
85
strike.
made it up to 8th place.
He is up to 8th.
He's been a trooper because he was involved in some pretty big wrecks earlier.
He's bringing that 85 home proud for you.
There we go. Still clutching.
Oh boy. 4 laps. And a treacherous inner loop and carousel. Again, that's what I'm just referring to, those corners, those tighter corners. They got to slow it down to about 150, 160. I don't think that we're going to make it to the white, just based on the fact that, hey, it's the end here. It is go time.
Yep.
But this track is very treacherous in that section. But we'll see. We'll see what these guys are able to do. They've been having some great battles here. KJ and Stakanis were swapping the lead back and forth. That last short run, they got one more short run to see who's going to be on the right end of it. Here
we go.
Flagman waves the green. Ooh, that's a good restart. KJ's going to play it patient for the time being. Lingle is not.
Nope. He's ready to go.
Going to try for the outside here. He's going to hope to try to get a gap. Maybe behind him. Harry Codian for 5th.
Yeah,
on Hansen. Oh boy! That was close there. Hansen just about getting into trouble. Here we go.
Watch Lingle on the inside there.
Little twitch there from KJ.
Big wreck.
They reckon we're going to race it back. Oh, KJ's about losing it. Oh, man, he held on to it. Duke Sorensen going for a top 3.
Man,
Caleb Lingle on the tail.
Oh, big wreck again.
Of the 31. 31, though, with the drive off. Caution is out. Just bring it around.
Somebody's around by themselves.
Boy, chaos here in the last lap. We're going to have a lot to look at.
Here comes Stakanis.
Oh, block! Stakanis to the stripe. Yellow flag. Caleb with the block for 2nd. He will get it. Ahead of KJ in 3rd. 3 laps to go. Yellow out. That should do it for Jeff. Finally. If he can get around here for these final couple laps. My goodness, was it a long time coming for his 2nd win of the season. But that is going to feel absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he has enough fuel, right?
Oh, yeah. At this point, absolutely.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Clutch the ever-living heck out of it at this point.
Yeah. We have a lot to look at here.
Got some unpacking to do.
I don't know where you want to start, but there was a lot going on that final lap. Somebody self-spun there was a lot.
I'm glad you were looking at it because I was not paying attention any further back. Let's see, where does it begin? It looks like it begins with Wiley King. Looks like it's the first guy to get into trouble. Running about 9th. He's trying to close in on the 85, the 112, and oh man, yeah, oh my goodness, a lot of guys overdriving that one. Steve Grant spins it. Thank goodness, you weren't kidding. There's a lot going on there. Oh, King flips. And then let's see if we get any trouble further up the way here.
A lot of people involved.
Oh, Bumbalo into the 94, who collects the 112. That's a bummer there for Hansen. Oh, Ryan D. Smith trying to get through there.
Oh man, he
And
barely got.
Kodian spun it. Oh, no way. No way he just did that. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
What happened? Oh, he downshifted. He
He
shifted to.
downshifted, he hit the wall, and he kept going. Let's see, where's he going to finish here?
Oh, he shifted to reverse on that.
He's
Oh my
going to
gosh.
finish in 8th. 7th. And you're telling me that Fugate's going to finish in 6th. Unreal.
I guess it pays to hang in there.
It pays to hang in there. You are not kidding. But yeah, that was, man, there were guys that were just taking it easier through these corners. Some guys that, boy, there were some sends. Holy moly, were guys just sending it in there. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, it was for everything, like you said.
It was for everything, but I'm looking at Rob Heath here. Yeah, look at him just get in there. Oh! Rob Heath almost had it saved, and then he bounced off of the 9.
Yeah. There aren't many cars that didn't have some damage in this race.
Yeah. Steve Grant with the spin there, and then, yep, we see the deal there with Hansen and Rayleigh. Trying to see what happened to Kodian here that sent him around.
Yeah, he shifted down to neutral and then reverse.
What did I just witness? Now, what I was saying when I said, oh my gosh, did he just do that, was him basically recovering and still finishing in the top 7 here, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's wild, too.
Yeah, that oh my gosh, I can't believe it didn't blow up.
Yeah, I can't believe it didn't blow up immediately.
What a wacky race this was.
Yeah, Papyrus in Massachusetts.
Blame Massachusetts. I only jokingly say that because my partner is from Massachusetts.
Gotcha.
So we had a little fun with that. How the heck is it pronounced Worcester? You can tell me that that's not Worcester. Come on now. So, Jeff Stakanis, Caleb Engel, and Kilojoules. We'll see if we can try to get a word with those guys after this race is done. They still got to take the white flag here. How about a 4th place finish for Duke Sorensen? What a job out of that 59. That is going to be a very highlight finish right there. And
yeah,
Bumbalo.
Yeah.
85 with the top 5 finish.
Yeah, Sorensen, there wasn't much to say today. I mean, he stayed out of trouble and just kept fighting. I mean, his car is clean. One of the only cars that wasn't involved in something.
His car is pretty clean, and yeah, he never really fell out of the top 10 all that much.
Nope.
This track definitely suited him very, very well, and I give him a lot of props. Did a great job out there. How about a recovery drive from Fugate there after that catastrophic crash? Is going to still emerge with a P6. That is incredible. Kodian's 7th after one of the more bizarre self-spins that I've ever witnessed. Irv Johnston, that's a great finish for him in 8th. Randy Smith. Rob Heath, the top 10. White flag and caution flag out here at Papyrus Motorsports Park.
Yeah, if you think about this race, though, the 31 was in contention the whole time. I mean...
And that tends to be Jeff's MO. He's never one to lead the most laps, or he rarely is. But he is almost always one to just be lurking there in the top 3, the top 5. Always just lurking. Always just staying in the frame. And running consistent. But not making much noise. Not being aggressive. He just does his thing and just waits for his time to pounce. And while sometimes that opportunity doesn't always fall in his favor, that is what keeps him consistent. That is what has kept him with a lot of great results. Again, a lot of races as of late might not have reflected that quite as well just because things did not fall in the favor of that 31. But tonight it finally did. And he's going to be going to victory lane for the second time this season in what I would consider to be a pretty long winless drought for him, relatively speaking, that is.
Yeah, certainly.
The Atlanta winner, going to win it here in the 18th race of the season, as long as that thing just holds together.
Yep, has to feel good to bring, and what a track to get a win on. You know, we were talking about the track being special or not, and what a track to get your win on.
Yeah, a track really fun to drive like this. Again, I'm jealous of these guys getting to. I'm stuck up here. All these guys were tearing it up down there, but holy cow! And a crazy race, and obviously very treacherous. But again, how the heck do you practice or tune for a track like this unless you just dedicate an entire day to it? Which I know some of these guys probably do. Honestly, that's how they get to as good as they are.
Yeah, the practice always prevails, I feel like.
And it's those four
Race the
horsemen
track.
guys like Stakanis, Herman Race. I believe Keith and KJ are in that. Or no, Keith and Fugate. I might have to double check on that, but with the yellow flag in the air, the checkered will now join it, and it will be win number 2 of the season. It has finally arrived officially for driver number 31, Steak and Eggs, going to victory lane.
Yep, he'll have to celebrate with a burger from Steak and Shake and a milkshake.
Oh, you're not kidding. Caleb Lingle, another excellent result. His luck is definitely turning around finally. He's going to finish runner-up. And then KJ, last week's winner, going to emerge third. Props to him.
I was impressed with Caleb because, remember, he went to the back and made it all the way back up to the front.
Yeah, he had an early moment and recovered very well. I think these guys are kind of mock racing back here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Having a little fun. That's cool. We'll watch this little mini battle with KJ and Caleb, although, oh man, KJ is looking good. Oh, man, if that had gone green, KJ would have been very dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, he did it again.
Yep, same thing.
I don't know if he's just messing around or what.
Let me go back to that. Wait a minute.
Yeah, something's up.
I want to see if he
to the stripe
down.
here. Ooh, Jeff let him have it.
Yep,
shifted now the burnout. Again.
The 13. The whole track is filled with smoke.
He's finally got himself the W. And props to him. Holy moly,
he ran a great race.
That was fantastic stuff from Jeff Stakanis. He will win it. Of course, we went over the top 10 finishers there. Finishing the rest of the race here was Steve Grant in 11th, Ryan Johnson, Eddie Rayleigh, Wiley King, Troy Donahue, top 15. Those are the guys that finished the race. Out of it, Ken Hansen. What a bummer for Ken. Man, he had a top 5 potential run going there.
He did.
Keith McLean out in 17th. Dan Rubino, Greg Stenzo, Herman Reese. What a shame there with the header blowing up on him. He'll finish 20th. And then Ron Simpson, Daryl Johnston, and Steve Rubino.
Yeah, both Rubinos out of the race. Hate to see that. Yeah, and shout out to the 73 because he was running a great race, and man, it just blew up.
Herman's always one of the top dogs here, so hey, lady luck, man. That old NR luck sometimes will just not fall in your favor.
That's I went years without a motor problem, and then 2 weeks in a row had it happen. It was crazy.
I feel that. I've been right there with you, and I'm sure if you play this game long enough, you'll have those stretches where the random engine failure just always manages to find you.
Oh yeah.
That's brutal whenever it does. Well, it's getting a little late here, so what do you say we get some guys up here?
Yeah, let's talk to them.
User was moved to
We'll
your
get
channel.
KJ up here first, third place finisher. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you, Andrew.
Well, you had one of probably the fastest cars out there, and gonna end up with third. But all in all, though, I think that was going to be a very intense battle between you and that 31 because the caution or the run prior to that second last caution was, you guys were just trading it back and forth. So it seemed like you had that car pretty well hooked up. How was it feeling?
Yeah, the car was good. I didn't get much practice tonight. The first couple runs, I just kind of filled the track out and filled the car out a little bit, and kind of get myself in good position, stay out of trouble. That pit stop on the green, I forgot to put the lefts back on because I had a strategy going. So that run after we came out of the green flag pit stops, I was only on 2 tires, and me and Jeff were still pretty fast. This track here is a big yo-yo. Depends on how you're set up. You're good in a certain part of the track, or you're really good on other parts of the track, and it just everybody kind of accordions back and forth. It was a fun race once we actually got to start racing.
Yeah, that was you could definitely tell kind of where the trouble spots were, and it was those two slower speed sections where they really had to get down to speed. The back end was wanting to come around, and obviously, yeah, everyone checking up in different ways and different spots. So, I guess it seemed like you were also kind of in that loose camp, but at the same time, you got the fastest lap of the race. So, but all in all, though, just kind of tell me what it was like with those two slower speed corners. Was it as slippery as it looked?
I was the right-hander. I was actually pretty tight. I could not get the car to turn in the center, and there's a couple people in the field that were really good in that corner. So if you weren't at least 3/10 ahead of them, there was a good chance they could get back under you in that corner and make your life hell going into the other left-hander. There was a lot of mirror driving. There wasn't a lot of brake shoes tonight, but there was a lot of mirror driving. You had to kind of see how they were, and you had to know who you were racing to kind of know how to pass that person or what to block or where they were good, where you're not as good, that type of deal. So a lot of strategizing in the race there. The track's very unique. You kind of got to set it up for half the track. The other half, you just gotta just deal with it.
It's a funky one for sure. I was saying this was going to probably be the most unique challenge that that everybody was going to face. But hey, yeah, I'm with you. Made for some good racing when we were under green there. I'll turn it over to Josh if you got any questions or thoughts for KJ.
Yeah, you did a great job. I was going to ask you, with this being an open setup night, how do you set up a car for a track like this that's got left and right, and it's kind of like a super speedway, but it's a road course? How do you tweak your setup to fit all that?
Honestly, you get a teammate that gives you a good setup. That helps a lot.
There you go.
I didn't practice any last night. I didn't have time or anything. So Keith gave me a good setup to go off of, and I knew it was going to be good. We ran here last year. We were good. You just really got to pick what you want. If you do a happy medium, you're going to be slow everywhere. So you got to kind of just, if you want to be really fast on the straightaways, you got to gear it that way, and you got to set it up for the left-hander. So going into the right-hander, that's the easiest place to pass somebody. But if you don't clear them coming out of that corner, you're going to follow them all around the track again. And like Caleb was killing us in the right-hander. But me and Jeff are so much faster than the straightaway. He passes, and we just go right back around him again on the straightaway. So like I said before, it kind of depends on who you're around. If you got a guy who's set up like you, it's going to be about impossible to pass like Jeff was. Jeff was good where I was, and he was just as bad where I was. So it was just following him around.
Hey, that's the nature of kind of that yo-yo that you were talking about there. So all in all, though, hey, guys, great stuff there. Finishing third in a pretty crazy, wild, wacky race. Had a lot going on, but all in all, hey, just glad to see you get up there in that top three. So props to you. I won't hold you up here too long. Get to those two other guys. We're getting a little late here, but I will let you have your closing thoughts, shoutouts as always.
Yeah, first of all, last week, Stella's a beer, not a wine. So I forgot to tell you that last week. We were talking about it. But
okay.
Yeah. But first, I want to say thanks to Troy. I think Troy sponsored tonight the next couple ones after this one. I hate it kind of started out this way. This was not our best showing here. It was kind of a race, but we'll bounce back from that. Good win to Jeff. Good strategy. He had a good car, right time. Probably best car in the field. So good win to Jeff. Good run, Caleb. That was a dirty block he threw me down the straightaway. I told him that about wrecked him, but it was only second place. I wasn't going to wreck him for second. So good run, Caleb. A lot of guys in the top 10 had good runs tonight. They needed some. So congrats to them. I think the 49 finished in the top 10 tonight. Duke got him 4th, and Ken got him top 5 tonight. So good run, everybody. Say hi to my mom. She was watching, like always. So I already got the text. Thanks. Thanks to Steve Rubino and Dan and all of the admins here at HOBO for each and everything they do. It's a great league. Fun guys. A lot of conversations we can't talk about here in the broadcast booth that went on tonight. So appreciate everybody coming out, and I appreciate everybody watching tonight. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, by the way, thank you, Andrew and Josh in the booth tonight. I almost forgot to thank y'all for broadcasting. So I'll go back and watch that and flip through the cautions and find the race.
That's all good. Hey, we appreciate what you guys do, and hey, props to you for surviving. Good job, and we'll see you at Pocono.
Thank
you. AJ.
User was moved out of your
Next
channel.
up, runner-up.
User was moved to your channel.
Caleb Lingle, another runner-up finish there. Caleb, do you copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Right on. That luck's turning around for you a bit. I mean, just got to get you back into victory lane again. But all in all, though, another second place finish. That luck's turning around for you, getting some great results, and yeah, you were running up front there quite a bit, except for that one time you got caught up in some deals there. But once you got back up front there, you were on it. But KJ was kind of talking about how him and Jeff were a little more tuned for kind of like the straightaways, but you seem to have that right-hand turn really, really dialed in. Is that kind of what you were aiming for?
Well, I was hoping to get it good everywhere, but that's really hard to do. So my car was set up for the right-handers, and I knew I had to take advantage of that when I could. And Jeff and KJ, the rest of the four horsemen, they were really quick on after the left-hander, after the right-hander, left-hander after the right-hander.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, on the front straightaway, they were really quick, and it's all I could do really just to keep up. And but yeah, that's. I had a car set up for the right-hander, so yeah, did the best I could with it.
And all in all, though, I kind of piggyback on kind of what Josh had asked KJ. Just kind of trying to find that balance of how to tune the car. What to you is typically the strategy when you're trying to tune for a track that is just so out of left field compared to what you guys normally do?
Yeah, that's a tough question. It's ideally this is overall more left-hand turns, so obviously you would try to have your left-hand turns tuned better, but the right-hand turn is such a big one here, and it's a big sweeping one. I felt like that was really kind of important one, and I was hoping the draft on the front straightaway would kind of hide my weakness in the left-handers, but it looks like I still have a little bit more work to do with that.
It's not something that you do every day, so certainly no fault there. And the speed that you did have was fantastic. Obviously, it's going to net you a wonderful result, and your restart gear seemed pretty good too. So credit to you there. I'll turn it over to Josh if you've got anything for Caleb.
Yeah, great job. Tell us about coming back up through the field, because I know you were up closer and then you kind of disappeared and then you came back. Tell us about coming up through the field there about mid-race.
Yeah, the race was very eventful for me. Particular scenario you're talking about is I had a lift going into the left-hander that was right after the right-hander, and it really messed up my entry, and I slapped the wall and I fell back 3+ seconds, but I was able to get just enough draft to kind of stay up there and close in. And I was running as hard as I could after that just to keep up. I think Wiley was right there, so I was drafting off to him. He was also doing pretty good on the right-handers, so we were both driving hard, and we were catching that front pack just a little bit. And then the green flag pit stops came, and I just threw it in there as hard as I could to the pits, and gained a lot of time there, and that's what really gained me a lot of time on the track.
And hey, it panned out for you nicely. The final thing that I gotta ask you, and then I'll let you have your closing thoughts on shoutouts and everything. But one particular moment in the race that had to have your heart in your throat. You basically drove under a flying 051.
We
Yes.
did.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see the car there. I was fourth in line. I think Jessica Gaines was first, KJ was second, and Fugate was third. I saw KJ dart to the left a little bit, and then I saw the yellow sun drop car almost sideways stopped right in front of me, and then some random white car, which was 051, start going up in the air, and I knew I was in it. And I locked him up, but it went right underneath it. I was like, wow, that doesn't happen very often. So that was pretty exciting.
It was good driving.
That's one of the more scary onboard shots that we've done all season.
Glad to bring some excitement to it.
That was quite the sight there. Now, still, yeah, great job, especially as Josh said, working your way back through the field, even after some things didn't quite pan out too well. At the end of the day, though, you drove it up there. You drove a great race and put yourself in a potential shot to win, but going to end up with another second place finish and keeping up the good runs there. So credit to you there. As always, though, closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want, my man. That's all yours.
Thank you. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Well, thank you all for broadcasting. Sorry it's so late. The cautions here just take forever. Thank you to Steve and Bino for the league, and Keith for getting this put together, and Troy for bringing the funds for this one and the next two, I believe. That's what I heard. Big shout out to my teammates and folks working with me, and family that's watching. Glad they can ride along with me sometimes.
Hey, right on, man. Props to you. Awesome stuff. Hopefully we can keep it up with Pocono. Good job.
Sounds good. Thank you.
User was
runner
moved
up.
out of your
I
channel.
think what I need to do from now on is actually see like who sponsors what races so that I can thank them and call them out for that.
Oh yeah.
User was
I
moved
really
to
need
your
to
channel.
start doing that. But we got our race winner up here. Finally. Just the Canis. It's late, but we got you up here in the booth as a race winner again. It's been a while, but finally back in victory lane, man. That is long overdue, but props to you. Awesome stuff. How you feeling?
I'm tired, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks, sir. That was I wish it was a little better. Sorry about that. Those long cautions being added in there weren't good. But I'm feeling pretty good.
Hey, that's just kind of the nature of the nature of the track. Nothing you guys can do about that. No worries. We had a lot of fun up here still. I guess I'll just ask you. It's kind of a general, kind of all-encompassing question here. Going about tuning for a track like that from your perspective, KJ had said that you and him were kind of on a similar playing field as far as just trying to get it even everywhere as best you could, maybe favoring the straightaways, whereas Caleb really had it in that right-hander. From your perspective, what's your take on trying to tune for a track that you really don't see very often and a very unusual one like this?
You could I think when I first started, and even Keith started making a setup for this, and I think it may even be a take off one of my Talladega setups. I mean, yeah, real crazy, right? But it works. Yeah, I think we weren't as good in the right hander as everybody else, but everywhere else on that track, it just would dog you. You know, it would coming up off the last turn. I could just start pulling guys by 5-10 lengths. It's crazy, but yeah, it's a great setup.
Yeah, you definitely had a lot of speed there. So awesome stuff. That was cool. Yeah, despite some of the long cautions there, if there was one guy that kept it up front the most and the best and kept it the cleanest, it was definitely that 31. So props to you on that one. I'll turn it over to Josh if he's got anything for our race winner.
Well, I'll change the topic. Have you ever eaten at a Steak and Shake?
Once I have.
It was good.
Only
wasn't it?
once.
Yeah, it was
And it's on
okay.
the
It was all
car.
right. Yeah, I wasn't aware that the fries were so thin.
Yes, I was telling Andrew during one of the yellows that the fries are really skinny,
Yeah, they are like
but
skinny
they're good.
fries. But yeah, oh yeah. They're just like skinny.
Well, you did a great job. You were up in the mix all day. Very deserving. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew I had a good car. I actually, in practice, when I was running qualifying, I got in here early or in the day, and I thought, well, I'm gonna run a Q lap. And I think I ran like a 7 for our actual Q, but I ran like a 2. I was in the 2s. It's
Wow.
just, yeah, it was a crazy Q lap, but it's all about, hitting that right-hander and how you're going to take it. I mean, and then of course, you hit the very next turn, the last turn there, and if you hit the right-hander perfect, you're going to be based for the last one. But yeah, that was a fast lap. I had a great car, great setup.
And it showed. It showed all night. You guys, those four horsemen, and you guys got it going. So props to you. Awesome stuff. And hey, hopefully we'll see more of that at Pocono. Of course, before we let you go though, closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you want to do, my man. And then we'll let you maybe get to bed.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Yeah, thanks to my teammates helping me out with the set, and we were kind of jockeying around springs and stuff like that and landed on some things. But these guys are absolutely supermen when it comes to that. I thank them guys, and for working. KJ was awesome at the end there, working with me. All my sponsors and people that watch online, and the admins do a great job, and all the guys at Hobo Racing. It's fun to race with these guys.
It's a lot of fun to bring this to the YouTube masses, and looking forward to seeing
Appreciate
what
you guys.
Pocono holds. Yeah, the pleasure is all ours. We have a lot of fun with it. So it's an honor to do it for you guys. So thank you, and best of luck at Pocono. Go get him. And for now, though,
Yeah, get to bed.
celebrating victory lane, and then get some rest.
Thanks, sir. Have a good night.
You too, man.
You too.
User was moved out of your channel.
And that was the race winner, guy who's running the Steak and Shake sponsorship after only eating there once. It's probably his name. That's probably. Oh man, yeah, Josh, it is late here on the East Coast, but
It
that was
is.
cool, man. And
That
thank you for
was.
being up here with me. Your closing thoughts?
Well, it was a great. I really enjoyed broadcasting it and enjoyed the track. It was a very unique track, and we saw some good racing and some big accidents, and we kind of saw some of everything. I appreciate you asking me to come back and ask me to, let me know. I'll come back again and as you need. So I appreciate it.
Gladly. Yeah, we appreciate you being on board here. Zach, don't worry, Blaine ain't gonna be taking your job anytime soon. Oh man, if anything, man, if it was like you, me, and Blaine in the booth, that'd be like the powerhouse right there.
I think
But
we did that one time at Tarnation, didn't we?
was Zach
One
up there?
time.
I know
I think
you were up there, and I
I
know
think
that
it
I
was
had
you, me,
Zach and
and
you up here for a race once.
yeah, yep,
I think that was for one of the NNSCRA races.
yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe we'll toy with some ideas going forward here, but
We'll
I'll
do
wrap
it
it up
again.
just by reminding anyone who's still watching. Again, we've got Pocono on Sunday at Fast and Tuesday here at Hobo. Going to be some awesome stuff there. Again, about 9 o'clock Eastern time for the Sunday stream. Usual deal, about 8:45, 8:50, somewhere in there. For Hobo next Tuesday, as always. But on that note, though, we'll let everyone get some rest. Congrats to Jeff Stacanis on getting another victory finally on the season. And we will see everybody at the Tricky Triangle. But until next time, though, a good evening to all. Take care.